through potential difference of 1 kilovolts. Calculate the Broglie wavelength. Of an electron that is accelerated from rest through a potential difference of 1 kilovolts, right? Through 1 kilovolts. Now, if I am moving the electron like this, then you have a formula that lambda is equal to. Let me first of all explain this. How do we get this formula? So, if the electron is accelerated by applying voltage V, then it gets kinetic energy, which is equal to electron volts. Okay, which is equal to electron volts. तो जितना आपने वोल्टेज दिया उतना इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट का उसमें आपके पास काइनेटिक एनर्जी आएगा. So you have lambda, which is equal to h upon under root 2 mke, right? Now instead of ke, I will write the electron volts, whatever the electron volts is, m into electron volts. Okay, m into electron volts. So how many electron volts do we have now? We have 1000 electron volts, right? Yes or no? Yes, 1000 electron volts. So this will be equal to h upon under root 2m into 1000 electron volts. So when you calculate this, you are going to get the lambda. ठीक है, that is it. ये जो information था, if you have V voltage, then the kinetic energy is in terms of electron volt.
So sir, the answer would be in terms of m, right?
No, not in terms of m. एक electron volts की जो value होती है वो कितनी होती
है? Okay. Electron का mass डालेंगे.
नहीं, इलेक्ट्रॉन का मास तो इलेक्ट्रॉन का यहाँ पे तो m में मास इलेक्ट्रॉन का डलेगा, दैट इज फाइन. ये जो इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट्स होता है ना, इस इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट, एक इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट का जूल्स में वैल्यू होता है. इससे क्वांटिटी फॉर एनर्जी 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट हमने लिखा है ना आप लोगों को, देखिए 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट इज इक्वल टू 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 जूल्स. ठीक है, और जूल क्या होता है? व्हाट इज 1 जूल? व्हाट इज 1 जूल? 1 जूल इज kg मीटर स्क्वायर पर सेकंड. ठीक है, अच्छा. प्लैंक्स कांस्टेंट की यूनिट क्या होती है? व्हाट इज द यूनिट फॉर प्लैंक कांस्टेंट? फहद
तो याद नहीं, देखना
जूल्स सेकंड, राइट? प्लैंक्स कांस्टेंट क्या होता है? ठीक है. So when you will calculate all of these things, you will be getting, everything will get cancelled and you will get only just meter will be remaining. ठीक है, तो ये आपका मीटर में आएगा लैम्डा, यहाँ से जो आप कैलकुलेट कीजिएगा इसको. ठीक है, ओके. सो लास्ट टाइम कहाँ तक किया था हमने इस चैप्टर में, चैप्टर 1 में? हाँ
सर एक और क्वेश्चन था।
जी जी बताइए।
तो 2
सेम
क्वेश्चन 7 थे ना?
हाँ 7 एक क्वेश्चन तो वो था ना जो हम बोल रहे थे कि आपको ये वाला अगेन प्रोटॉन इज एक्सेलरेटेड इन टू 1/10 ऑफ वेलोसिटी ऑफ लाइट ना, ये वाला ठीक है। इसमें देखिए आपका प्रोटॉन है एक्सेलरेटेड टू 1/10 वेलोसिटी ऑफ लाइट, दैट मींस इट हैज बीन एक्सेलरेटेड, वेलोसिटी कितनी है 1/10 into c. If its velocity can be measured with a precision of 0.5%, what is the uncertainty in the position? ओह अच्छा ये सवाल तो हमको उसी टाइम कर लेना चाहिए था। अच्छा there is a formula for Heisenberg uncertainty principle, right? Fahad,
Yes,
what
sir.
is that? X into delta V is equal to h upon 4 pi m, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Correct. Now see 0.5% plus minus, na, that is the uncertainty for what? That means delta uncertainty for position या फिर किसके लिए velocity can be measured, ठीक है। तो delta v क्या है आपके पास 0.5%, that means you have 0.5 upon 100 which will be equal to 0.005, okay। So this is the delta v। अब आपको क्या निकालना है इसमें?
Sir, won't be
What
multiplied by the value of c.
हाँ करेक्ट करेक्ट, you have to multiply this by into 1/10 into c, डेल्टा v इज इक्वल टू जो आपके पास अनसर्टेनिटी है एंड वेट अ सेकंड, नहीं इसमें आपको मल्टीप्लाई तो नहीं करना पड़ना चाहिए, अनसर्टेनिटी इन वेलोसिटी आपको दिया हुआ है, नहीं ठीक ठीक एक्यूरेट टर्म्स में नहीं दिया हुआ, परसेंटेज में दिया हुआ, दैट इज वी हैव टू डू मल्टीप्लिकेशन हियर, तो ये आपके पास आ जाएगा 0.5 अपॉन 100 सही। आई एम सॉरी, आई जस्ट फॉरगॉट टू टर्न माय चार्जर्स प्लग ऑन, my system got this, I mean completely shut down, okay। So see, Fahad, velocity will be equal to 0.5. This is the uncertainty in percentage. In accurate terms, like in exact terms, it will be equal to 1/10 into c. That is the current velocity, and this is the percentage error. So then we will get the delta v, and then you have to just find delta x. यहाँ पे आपके पास ये चीज मिल गया आपको, h has been given. I think mass is also given, ना Fahad? Mass दिया है आपको, mass of proton is also given. You just need to find delta x, which will be equal to h upon delta v into 4 pi m, okay।
Okay, sir. हो
जाएगा है ना, ठीक है। अच्छा हाँ, लास्ट टाइम आई कंडक्टेड द टेस्ट, आई कंप्लीटली फॉरगॉट दैट आई हैव टू चेक दैट टेस्ट पेपर्स, ओके। लेकिन फॉर श्योर थर्सडे तक आप लोगों को मार्क्स और फिर उसका जो सोल्यूशन है दोनों चीज हम आप लोग को व्हाट्सएप में भेज देंगे, ठीक है। एंड लास्ट टाइम हम लोगों ने कहा था क्या था? लास्ट टाइम वी डिड टिल मोल फ्रैक्शन, राइट? हाँ चलिए ठीक है, मोल फ्रैक्शन तक हो गया है. लेट अस मूव फॉरवर्ड नाउ. Let's move forward. Now, there is a term which is known as normality. Okay, there is a term which is known as normality. We will understand what is normality. Okay, we will understand what is normality, and then we will look certain aspects of normality. Not going into much detail because normality, you will understand that you have to know plenty of reactions. Okay, and also plenty of structures. So normality that you will understand slowly and slowly, and I will be doing normality again when we go to redox reactions. Okay, so please write the topic normality. Okay, normality, please write. It is defined as number of gram equivalent of solute dissolved in 1 liter of solution. Dissolved in 1 liter of solution. Okay, so what is normality? Okay, क्या इसमें तो आप लोगों को कुछ नहीं समझ में आया होगा, जस्ट थोड़ा पेशेंस रखिए. ठीक है, नॉर्मेलिटी इज इक्वल टू जितना भी है उसको लिखते जाइए, धीरे धीरे समझ में आएगी. नॉर्मेलिटी इज इक्वल टू नंबर ऑफ ग्राम इक्विवेलेंट divided by volume of solution in liter. Okay, now यहाँ पे आपके पास क्या है? यहाँ पे we have a term which is number of gram equivalent, which is what? Which is confusing, and that is the only term that you don't know. Now let us see what is number of gram equivalent. Number of gram equivalent, or it is also known as number of equivalents. Okay, please write. Also write as number of equivalent. So number of gram equivalent or number of equivalent, it is equal to the given mass divided by equivalent mass. Okay. Now, in this term, that is number of gram equivalent or number of equivalent, given mass, all of you know what is given mass. If in a question you have been given a mass or you have to get the mass of a particular sample, that is the given mass divided by equivalent mass. Now, equivalent mass, it is a new term, and that is the main point of the whole normality and why it gets very complicated. So we will first of all learn what is equivalent mass, or it is also known as equivalent weight. So right next, equivalent mass or equivalent weight. So now you will write here, please write this with me. The mass of substance which can combine or displaces 1 gram of H2, 1 gram of hydrogen, or 1 gram of H2, or 8 grams of O2, or 35.5 grams of Cl2 is called equivalent mass. Okay. Now let us understand this particular statement. Write this down, all of you. Please raise your hand when you're done. Then we'll understand the statement here. Equivalent mass is the only thing that you have to understand. Equivalent mass, when you have it in denominator, in numerator you have given mass, you will get number of equivalent. Now, for normality, you have number of equivalent upon the volume of solution. So you have here the equivalent mass or equivalent weight. That is the only missing block in all of your understanding. You will understand this, and then you will be also done with normality. Okay, please raise your hand if you're done writing this particular definition of equivalent mass. Okay, Fatima is done. Abdullah is done. Iram is done, and Aisha is also done. Okay, fine. Okay. You all can lower your hand. Now, let us see one example, a very simple example of a reaction in which we have oxygen and we are adding hydrogen to it. So obviously, what are we going to get? We are going to get H2O. Now, I don't want you to focus on the stoichiometry here. I just want you to see the reactant and the product that we are getting. Okay. So I'm not talking about the amount of product we are getting. What I'm talking about, I'm only talking about the nature of product. I have one oxygen atom. Sorry, I have one oxygen molecule, one hydrogen molecule, and we are getting one water molecule here. We are getting one water molecule. Now, to understand this particular chemical equation, we can see that very easily. We can see very easily that if I choose to see, and if I choose to observe this oxygen molecule here. So here we have one oxygen atom, here we have one oxygen atom. And if I look at the product here, I am having only one oxygen atom. Then can I say that one oxygen atom is replaced by two hydrogen atoms? Can I say this? I need a yes or no. Please turn your mic on and tell me. Can I say this? One oxygen atom is replaced by two hydrogen atoms. Yes or no? Please guys tell me. Can I say this when I look at the reaction? If I look at this oxygen atom in the reaction that we have proceeded, this oxygen atom is here only. Now this oxygen atom has been replaced by two other hydrogen atoms. Yes or no?
Yes.
All of you can see this, right? I'm not talking about the stoichiometry. यहाँ पे आपको balance नहीं लग रहा है, it's fine. I'm just talking, देखिए, oxygen और hydrogen को मिलाइएगा, water मिलेगा. Okay, so I'm just talking about that, the product here, the nature of product, that is the chemical species water. Now, one oxygen atom, okay, one oxygen atom. If I talk, I can say also one mole of oxygen is replaced by 2 mole of hydrogen. Same thing, yes or no, please tell me. I have just increased the number of atoms. One oxygen atom is replaced by 2 hydrogen atom. 100 oxygen atom will be replaced by 200 hydrogen atom. Similarly, 1 mole will be replaced by 2 mole of hydrogen atom. Everything clear, yes or no, please tell me. Till here, are you with me now? Yes. Okay, fine, great. Now, 1 mole of oxygen atom is what? It is equal to 16 gram of O2, right? It is equal to 16 gram of O2. And I can say 16 gram of O2 is replaced by 2 moles of hydrogen. That means we have 2 grams of hydrogen. And similarly, I can say 8 gram of oxygen is replaced by 1 gram of hydrogen. Yes or no, please tell me. Are you okay with this statement and this statement here? Because 1 mole of oxygen, what is the mass of 1 mole of oxygen? It is 16 grams, right? 2 moles of hydrogen, its mass is 2 grams. Okay, so 16 gram of photo is replaced by 2 gram of hydrogen. So I can say 8 gram of oxygen will be replaced by 1 gram of hydrogen. Yes or no, please tell me. यहाँ तक सब ठीक है? Yes or no, please tell me. What about others? Aisha, Iram, Abdullah, Fatima. Okay, fine. ठीक है. Now, what I want to show you here is this is a chemical reaction. And in chemical reaction, we deal with number of atoms in terms of atoms or in terms of moles. Now, equivalent mass, what it does, we were saying, see, यहाँ पे बहुत simple था. One oxygen atom is getting replaced by 2 hydrogen atoms. But as we convert this particular statement to mass, you can see that the proportion has been, it is varied very much now. We have 8 grams here and we have 1 gram here, right? Now, this is the tricky thing about the equivalent masses. What does it mean? It means that if I have 8 grams of oxygen somewhere, that can be replaced by 1 gram of hydrogen. 1 gram of hydrogen also. It can be replaced by 1 gram of hydrogen. Okay. So can you see this, that the first statement here and the last statement here, how they are related? They are related through a chemical equation. That means whenever we talk about equivalent mass or equivalent weight or normality, you have to have an understanding about the chemical reaction that is going on. You have to have an understanding about the chemical reaction that is going on. Is that clear? Yes or no? Please tell me. Yes or no, guys? Is this clear? Now, in order to calculate the equivalent mass, now what we can say here is, we can say that 8 gram of oxygen is equivalent to 1 gram of hydrogen. 8 gram chemically speaking, if I take 8 grams of oxygen, it will react with 1 gram of hydrogen. This is the equivalent mass concept that we was talking about. Okay. Now, in order to ease things up, there is a formula that we can use. ठीक है, but पहले आप लोग इसको लिख लीजिए. Okay, I hope you guys are done. If you're not done, please let me know. Now, right? Equivalent weight. We can calculate equivalent weight in many, like through, first of all, identifying what type of species we have. Equivalent weight. Okay. So equivalent weight, if you have ions, then it will be equal to the molecular weight of the ion, and we will divide this by the valency or the charge. Okay, valency. Okay, so for example, if I have Na plus, then its equivalent weight will be equal to what? What is the molecular weight of sodium? 23 divided by what is the valency of the charge? It is 1. Okay, it is 1. Is that clear? Yes or no, please tell me. ये समझ में आया आप लोगों को? If you have ion, then molecular weight upon valency. लिखिए अभी लिखिए आप, बाद में इसको प्रैक्टिस करके समझाना पड़ेगा. Then if you have any acid, then for acid it will be equal to the molecular weight divided by acidity. That means how many number of H plus ions can we use from here. Then if you have base, then for base also it is molecular weight divided by basicity. Now, if we have oxidizing agent, अब यहीं से थोड़ा सा, you don't know what are oxidizing agent and what are reducing agent right now. If you have oxidizing agent, then it will be equal to the molecular weight again divided by the number of electrons gained. For reducing agent, this will be the molecular weight divided by number of electron lost. Next, for salt, the molecular weight divided by charge on cation और anion. ठीक है, इन सबको लिखिए and we will do some problems, उसके साथ समझ में आएगा. So, write a question. Calculate the molar mass and equivalent mass of Na2SO4. First of all, you have to tell me what is the molar mass here. Molar mass calculate कीजिए and send me on chat. लिख लिया आप लोगों ने? तो किसी का आंसर नहीं आ रहा है? मोलर मास बस निकालना है। व्हाट हैपेंड गाइस? आयशा, इरम,
132.
सॉरी
132. 132.
142 sir. 100 142, yeah, correct. 142 grams per mole. Okay. Now we will calculate the equivalent mass of Na2SO4. ठीक है? Na2SO4 में you will calculate the equivalent mass. First of all, you should know that Na2SO4, in this we have two Na positive ion plus we have two SO4 negative ion. SO4 two negative ions. Okay. So we have two Na positive and SO4 two negative. Now, if you look at the cationic charge here, it is 2 positive and the anionic charge is what? 2 negative. Right? We have two Na positive, so net total charge will be what? 2 positive, or for anion it is going to be 2 negative. Right? So the magnitude is same. Now what is? We have this as a salt. Na2SO4 is a salt. That means for salt we have molecular weight upon charge. So equal weight is equal to molecular weight divided by charge on, charge को क्यों लिखते हैं? On cation or anion. So molecular weight is 142 grams per mole divided by what is the charge on cation or anion? It is what? It is 2. So it will be equal to how much? It will be equal to 71. Okay, it will be equal to 71 grams or 71 grams per mole you can write. ठीक है? That is it. So can you see that you have to know this one, this part here. ये आपको जानना जरूरी है. That what is the charge there? Then only you can apply the formula. Please write it down. We'll look at some more. Done. I hope आप लोगों ने लिख लिया. ये सुनो. अरे हाँ या ना कुछ तो बोलिए, तो तुम जवाब भी देना बंद कर देते हैं। चलिए, एक सवाल लिखिए, सिंपल सा सवाल है, ठीक। तो कैलकुलेट NaCl का निकालिए। Send the answer in chat. What happened, guys? आप आंसर क्यों नहीं भेज रहे चैट में? वाइफाई वेट तो निकाल लिया होगा। यस, अब्दुल्ला, आयशा, इरम, फहद, फातिमा, व्हाट हैपेंड? मॉलिक्यूलर वेट भी नहीं निकला आप लोगों से NaCl का?
Sir, 58.5.
Can you please write it in chat? Okay, I've just got from Aisha. Okay. And NaCl, it will dissociate into what? Na plus and Cl negative. हाँ. Now, equivalent weight is what? Equivalent weight calculate कीजिए. Calculate the equivalent weight, molecular weight divided by charge on cation or anion. And tell me what is the equivalent weight? Tell me guys, what is the molecular weight? कौन कीजिए, आप लोगों ने तो आंसर देना बंद ही कर दिया। हाँ, चलिए, Abdullah, tell me what is the molecular weight? I have calculated it, na? Abdullah, please turn your mic on and tell me what is the molecular weight. Oh God, really? Aisha, tell me.
58.
Aisha, 58.5 divided by
1.
what is it? 1. That is it. That is it. Right, next question. चलिए, I hope you guys know H2SO4, it will break up as 2H plus SO4 2 negative. How many of you remember the molecular weight ना? Molecular weight बहुत सारे लोगों को याद होना चाहिए H2SO4 का. Please write it in chat. हाँ, yes correct आयशा. ऐसे ही बता दीजिए अब इक्विवेलेंट वेट कितना हो जाएगा आयशा? No, Fatima. That is not the molecular weight of H2SO4. Please recalculate ना. Please recalculate, Fatima. Yes, Aisha, see. समझ में आ गया आयशा ये सब please tell me. How to calculate equivalent weight?
Yes, sir.
Fatima, now once you have got the molecular weight, what will be the equivalent weight?
$49.
49, right? Divided by 2, that is charge, which will be equal to 49 grams per mole. That is it. Okay. I'll write a question. An aqueous solution contain %49 H2SO4 by mass. Find the normality. Find the normality of solution if density is equal to 1.25 grams per liter. Now listen. Normality is equal to what? Number of gram equivalent divided by volume of solution in liters. So we don't know what is the volume solution also. We don't know what is the number of gram equivalent also, right? So first of all, we will calculate the number of gram equivalent. So number of gram equivalent is equal to what? It is equal to the given mass divided by equivalent mass, right? So for H2SO4, we have just calculated what is the equivalent mass. It is equal to 49 only, right? It is equal to 49. And what is the given mass? So for given mass, we will write it like this: 49 gram of H2SO4 in 100 gram of solution. Where did we get this information? We got the information from here. 49% H2SO4 by mass, it means 49 gram of H2SO4 and 100 gram of solution. So what is the given mass here? The given mass is 49. What is the equivalent mass? 49 grams per mole. 49 grams only. And here we have equivalent mass is equal to also 49 grams. This will be number of equivalent is equal to how much? Number of equivalent will be 1. Number of gram equivalent is equal to what? It is equal to 1. So now we can put the formula here. Normality is equal to number of gram equivalent divided by volume in liters. Now we don't know volume in liters now. इसके लिए what we have to do? Mass is equal to density upon volume. So we can write volume is equal to density upon mass. Sorry, my bad. Density is equal to mass by volume. So we can write volume is equal to mass by density. So mass is equal to 100 grams of solution divided by density is equal to 1.25 grams per ml. So volume will be equal to 100 upon 1.25 into and we have into 10 to the power minus 3 liters. Number of gram equivalents 1 upon volume is equal to 100 and 1.25 will go above. So you can write 1.25 here into 1 into 10 to the power minus 3 is in the volume. It will go above, it will become 10 to the power plus 3. This will be equal to 1.25 into 1 into 1000 divided by 100, which will be equal to 12.5 normal. Okay. You will not get much of normality question, but एक हमने एक बार इसको introduce कर दिया. That is why when I do redox reaction, then I will revisit this again. है ना? तो उस time आप लोग को बिल्कुल strange ना लगे. Okay, that is why we have discussed normality here. Now write the topic. Stoichiometric calculation. Stoichiometric calculation. Now right here. The calculations related to amount of reactant and product in a chemical reaction is called stoichiometric calculations. Now, each chemical reaction, it has multiple levels of information that is given there. Okay, it has multiple levels of information. What are those multiple levels of information? We'll start with a very simple reaction. Let me write here. If we have N2 gas plus H2 gas is going to give me NH3. Now, each chemically balanced reaction, that means we have to add 3 here and 2 here, and this particular equation is completely balanced. Now, this chemical equation we can understand this equation into multiple levels. The first very simple level of understanding this would be in the level of molecules, that I will say as molecular level. Okay, that we will say as molecular level. So let us understand first in what is happening in molecular level. In molecular level, I will say that one molecule of N2 is reacting with 3 molecules of hydrogen, no, hydrogen gas, not hydrogen atom, hydrogen gas, and it gives me 2 molecule of ammonia, 2 molecules of ammonia, NH3. Now see the ratio here. In terms of molecule, it is what? It is 1:3:2. That means 1 molecule of, now if I talk about, let us say 200 molecule of N2, then how many hydrogens will be required? Tell me guys, how many hydrogens will be required? Agar ek tha to 3 chahiye tha. If we had 1 molecule, then we required 3. Then for, let me write it 2. 200 mat likhe, aap log pagal ho jayega. If I have 2 molecules of N2, then how many hydrogens do I need? Tell me.
6.
Very good. 6 molecules. And how many molecules of NH3 will be given? How many molecules of NH3? Yes, Abdullah, can you please speak loudly? I think you said right answer. Fahad, what happened to you? आपका कोई जवाब ही नहीं आ रहा है. फहद, आपको आता है?
Yes, 4.
ठीक है, 4. Iram, Aisha, and Fatima. Are you guys understanding this? Yes or no? Please tell me.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay, very good. Now this is the molecular level of understanding that we will have. Then the next one is the level of moles. Okay. In terms of moles, I can say that 1 mole of N2 reacts with 3 mole of H2 to give me 2 moles of NH3, to give me 2 moles of NH3. Okay? Now, if we have, let us say, if we have here 5 moles of N2, then we will require 15 moles of H2, and I will be getting 7.5 moles of NH3. Now, each and every chemical reaction, as you can see now, what it is doing, it is having some information. Now, as soon as I move to mass, then tell me what is the mass of 1 mole of N2? What is the mass of 1 mole of N2? Nitrogen का mass कितना होता है? Nitrogen is
28.
14, right? And 2 nitrogens will be 28 grams. So 28 gram of nitrogen will react with 3 2s are 6 grams of H2, and it is going to give me NH3 14 plus 3 17 17 plus 34, right? It's going to give me 34 grams of NH3. Now, can you see that as soon as I went to mass, the proportions are not matching now? Can all of you see that? Yes or no? Please tell me. See the proportions, 28, 6, and 34. So mass is not following any proportions. Can all of you see that? Yes or no? Please tell me. Abdullah, Aisha, Iram, and Fahad.
Yes.
Right? So whenever you are doing any stoichiometric calculation, you will be always doing in terms of what? In terms of moles. Moles is your friend. You have to do each and every calculation in terms of what? Moles. Then you will be converting into mass also. Similarly, if I can go one more level, I can go the level of volume also here. Right? Because what is the volume of 1 mole of nitrogen gas? It will be 22.4 liters. At STP, of course, but it will be 22.4 liters. 3 moles of hydrogen will be 3 times 22.4 liters. And for NH3, it will be what? 2 times 22.4 liters. But we don't get always gaseous reaction. There will be, this is known as homogeneous reaction, in which reactant and the product, they are all in the same phase. But we can get some reaction in which reactant and the molecules are in different phase. So in that case, the volume is not very much effective. But the most effective part is what? It is the number of moles. And we'll be only calculating things. We'll do all the numericals on the basis of what? On the basis of number of moles. Okay. Now, next here, there is a concept which is known as, let me ask you one question first of all. Let me ask you one question. We had N2 plus 3H2 is giving me 2NH3. It is giving me what? It is giving me 2NH3. Now let us suppose that I have here one molecule, okay? One molecule of N2, 1 mole of N2, and I have here 5 mole of H2. I have here 5 mole of H2. Now, what do you guys think? What will happen? How many moles of NH3 will be formed? How many moles of NH3 will be formed? Tell me. Aisha, Iram, Fatima, and Abdullah. Acha, first of all, tell me, how many moles of NH3 will be formed if I have 3 moles? Then how many moles of NH3 will be formed?
2 moles.
2 moles. Very good. Okay. Now listen very carefully, all of you. Okay. Listen very carefully, all of you. If I still have 1 mole of N2 and I increase the number of moles of H2, let us say to 4 moles, then the extra 1 mole of H2 that I have, that is going to be unreacted, because with 3 moles N2 will react, the remaining 1 mole will be what? It will be wasted. Yes or no? From the 4 mole, only 3 moles will react. Correct? Yes or no? Please tell me. Is this understood, all of you? Yes or no? Please tell me.
Yes.
Yes. What about others? Iram, Fatima, Abdullah.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, even if I have 4 moles, again, with 3 moles will react with N2 and I will be getting 2 moles of NH3. Yes or no? Is that right? Yes or no? Please tell me. Suppose that I will be still getting 2 moles of NH3. Yes or no? Please tell me, guys, what happened?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Now, this nitrogen, can I say this nitrogen is limiting the reaction, है ना? Because we still have 1 mole of hydrogen left, but there is no nitrogen. So nitrogen is the culprit. Nitrogen is that substance which is limiting the reaction. Yes or no? Please tell me. If we had extra nitrogen, then we would have been getting more moles of NH3. Is that correct? Yes or no? Please tell me. Any doubt till here? We will be getting more moles of NH3 if we had more nitrogens. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? And that is why this type of reagents, these are known as what? Limiting reagent. Okay. So please write limiting reagent. Next topic. Please write here. The reagent which is completely consumed, which is completely consumed during the chemical reaction is called limiting reagent. Nitrogen was completely consumed and that was the limiting reagent. Also, one more point to note is that the limiting reagent determines the amount of product formed, during the chemical reaction. Okay. And when will you calculate and when will you determine the limiting region? Please write. If the amount of two or more reactants is given, then we calculate, then we determine the limiting reagent. Okay. Now, write a question. Zero 0.2 moles of Fe reacts with 0.2 mole of Fe reacts with 0.2 mole of 0.2 mole of O2. 0.2 mole of O2 to form Fe2O3. Calculate the amount of Fe2O3 formed. Now this is the first question, and you will also write the steps that we are doing. The first step of all of these type of questions, stoichiometric calculation, number one step is what? To write balanced chemical reaction. Okay. What are the 0.2 moles and 0.2 moles of O2? These are the given amounts of Fe and O2. Given amounts of Fe and O2. These are not the stoichiometric. These are not the stoichiometric coefficients. Please remember. So what is the reaction? The reaction is Fe plus O2 is going to give me Fe2O3. Now to balance this, first of all, we'll balance the oxygen here. Here we have 3, here we have 2. So write 3 here and 2 here, and now we can write 2 moles of Fe2. So we have 4 moles of Fe like this. This is the balanced chemical reaction. First of all, you will write this balanced chemical reaction. Now from here you can easily see that we require 4 mole of Fe. So it will react with 3 mole of O2. And it will give me 2 mole of Fe2O3. Then the next thing that you are going to write is the ratios of that in terms of moles. Then the next step is you will write the need statement. What are the need statement? Please see. 4 moles of Fe needs how many moles of O2? Please tell me. How many moles of O2?
3.
3 moles. Very good. 3 moles of O2. Then you all will tell me unitary method. 1 mole of Fe needs how many moles of O2? Tell me, guys. How many moles of O2 will be required here? If I have 1 mole of Fe, नहीं आ रहा है?
3/4.
See guys, this is very easy, okay? If you have $4, let us say, you are getting 3 chocolates, okay? You are getting 3 chocolates. If you have $1, then you will be getting how many? 3 by 4 chocolate, yes or no? Aisha, Fahad, Fatima, Fahad को तो आता है.
Yes.
Aisha, Iram, Abdullah, yes or no, tell me. ठीक है, यूनिटरी मेथड है, बिल्कुल ध्यान दीजिए इसमें. हाँ या ना तो प्लीज बोलिए, क्या हो गया आप लोगों को? व्हाट हैपेंड? इरम, यू कांट स्पीक टुडे. व्हाट हैपेंड इरम? ये थम्स अप आप क्यों दिखा रहे हो?
यस सर, समझा.
समझा? नो, एटलीस्ट स्पीक ना. ऐसा लग रहा है आई एम जस्ट टॉकिंग इन अ वॉइड हियर. 3/4 moles of O2. Now, this is the first statement that is coming from what? This is coming from balanced chemical reaction. And then you are finding for 1. ठीक है? For 1 हमने find किया. Then you will write the statement. Then you will write the statement according to the mass that is given to you. So how many moles of Fe and how many moles of Fe is given? Tell me. You have been given 0.2 moles of Fe. So you'll write here 0.2 moles of Fe needs. देखिए एक में कितना चाहिए था? 3/4. So in 0.2 we will require 3/4 into 0.2. Yes or no? Please tell me. It is just unitary method. एक बार ध्यान लगा के देखिए आप लोग please. It needs how much? 0.2 into 3/4 moles of O2. If you, this is from given question. ठीक है, यहाँ पे जो 0.2 हम लिख रहे हैं, देखिए this 3/3 moles it is coming from reaction. 3/4 ये तो आपको unitary method से आ रहा है. 0.2 moles of Fe you will be writing from here like this. 0.2 moles कहाँ से आ रहा है? From the given question. It needs how much? According to the chemical reaction. According to the chemical reaction, it needs 0.2 into 3/4 moles of O2. Now, this will be equal to how much? Tell me. 0.6 by 4, which will be equal to how much? Tell me. It will be equal to 3/2, na? 0.3/2. Which will be equal to 0.15 moles of O2. ठीक है, तो 0.2 moles of Fe needs 0.15 mole of O2. This is according to the chemical reaction. Now we will be comparing. Now we will be comparing the amount that is given to us. The amount that is given to us. Now you tell me. We have 0.2 moles of Fe. Now you compare this part. This much is required. This much is needed. How many we have? Tell me. What is the amount of O2 we have? What is the amount of O2 we have? What is the amount of O2 do we have? कितना amount है O2 में सवाल के मुताबिक? According to the question, how many moles of O2 do we have?
0.2.
Again, repeat it. Say it properly, Aisha.
0.2.
0.2. ठीक है? You're right. We have 0.2 mole of O2. Okay? And how much is required? 0.15. So it is more than needed or less than needed? We have more than needed or less than needed, Tony? We have
Yes.
more than needed, right? If we have more than needed, that means O2 will be, some O2 will be unreacted. Some O2 will be unreacted. That means what will completely react? And Fe will react completely. Therefore, Fe is limiting reagent. Okay, Fe is limiting reagent. Now, once we have identified what is the limiting reagent, what we can do? we can now get the product. Now we have to write the third step, that is form statement. Now in form statement, the first statement will be from the balanced chemical reaction. We have 4 mole of Fe. Forms 4 mole of Fe forms 2 mole of Fe2O3. Then you will write 1 mole of Fe forms 2/4 mole of Fe2O3. Then we will come up with our data. We have how many moles of Fe? 0.2 mole of Fe forms 0.2 into 2/4 mole of Fe2O3. So this will be equal to how much? 2/4 is equal to 1/2. So 1/2 will be equal to 0.1 mole of Fe2O3 is going to be formed. Okay. You see, basically the whole question, it has 3 parts. The first part is what? Write the balanced chemical reaction. Then you write the need statement. This need statement will give you what? It will give you the limiting reagent. Okay. Once you have got the limiting reagent, then you will write the form statement, and this form statement will give you the amount of product. Okay, chaliye, please start writing. Right, each step बहुत ही crisp लिखा हुआ है ना? So you don't have to do. You have to do these things eventually in all the questions of stoichiometric calculation, but these things will get condensed slowly. Okay. Now it seems very elaborative because I have written each and every point and I've explained each and every point, right? But slowly, when you are doing the calculations, you don't have to write each and every point like this. Then you will be condensing these forms. But again, some things are going to be like a staple thing. Write the balanced chemical reaction, the need statements, and the form statements. Okay, and how the complexity will begin? See, the complexity will come when you don't have the number of moles of Fe, when you don't have the number of moles of O2, rather you have the grams of Fe and grams of O2. Then in that case, what you have to do, you have to first of all convert the grams to number of moles, and then write the need statement, and then write the form statement. Okay, so slowly we will be increasing the complexity of the question, but this is the most fundamental thing. Understand this question very perfectly, each and every step. आगे जाके आप लोगों को कोई दिक्कत नहीं होनी चाहिए. Okay. Please write this down fast. Raise your hand when you're done. You have to do some other questions also. Jaldi लिखिए please. How many of, if you are done, please raise your hand. Na? If you are done. If you're done, please raise your hand. Aisha, Iram and Fahad, just waiting for you guys. Okay, Fahad is done. सभी का हो गया था, कोई हाथ ये नहीं करता है, रिस्पॉन्ड ही नहीं करना है किसी को. हाँ ठीक है. Let me again summarize this for you. The first thing that we are going to do, see the steps that you have to follow is, number 1, write balanced chemical reaction. Second step is get the number of moles. Given in question. ठीक है. अब देखिए सवाल में आपके पास ग्राम्स में रह सकता है, तो you have to convert to number of moles. Okay, so you have to have the number of moles of all the reactions in the question. Third step is need statement. Fourth is form statement. Okay, keeping this in mind, right? Another question, very small question. 2 grams of H2 reacts with 8 grams of O2 to form water. Okay, to form water. Calculate the amount of water formed. ठीक है. बहुत ही ज्यादा दिल कर रहा होगा. You must be eager to write 10 grams of water, but it's not that direct. Okay, it is easy, but it's not that direct. 10 grams of water will not be formed. Okay, so first of all, write the balanced chemical reaction. We have hydrogen plus oxygen giving me water. So I will write 2 here, then I have to write 2 hydrogen here. Now it is balanced, as you can see. Then we have 2 grams here, and we have here 8 grams. So first of all, we'll convert this to number of moles. So number of moles of H2 will be equal to the given mass, that is 2 grams divided by the molar mass. The molar mass is what? What is the molar mass of hydrogen? It is 2, right? Yes or no? 2 grams per mole. So I'll write this as 1. We have 1 mole of H2. This is 1 mole. And for oxygen, we have number of moles of O2. 8 upon how much? 8 upon 32, right? Which will be equal to 1 upon 4 moles. So this is the given values. So I have written the balanced chemical reaction. I have got the number of moles for given in the question. Then I will write the need statement. चलिए आयशा बोलिए नीड स्टेटमेंट. 2 moles of H2. Aisha, turn the mic on. 2 moles of H2 needs. Aisha, what happened?
1 mole of oxygen.
1 mole of O2. Next statement क्या होगा बताइए? What will be the next statement?
1 mole of hydrogen.
1 mole of H2
Needs 1/2 mole of oxygen.
1/2 mole of O2. Very good. Now we have here 1 mole of H2 and 1 mole यहाँ पे हम लोग को मिल ही गया, right? You have already got 1 mole. Now you have to compare. This 1/2 mole of O2 that we have here. This is the needed. And how much do we have? We have 1/4. So tell me, do we have more than needed or less than needed? We have oxygen more than needed or less than needed? जल्दी बताइए क्या हो गया. This is 0.5 is needed and we have 0.25. We have more than needed oxygen or less than needed?
Less.
Less than needed. Very good. We have less oxygen than needed. तो बताइए, if oxygen is less than needed, then it will be completely consumed. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Right. So we have oxygen less than needed. Hence, therefore, O2 is limiting reagent. Okay, O2 is limiting reagent. Now, Fatima, what is the next thing that we are good? We have got the limiting reagent. Now we need to write the form statement. So for form statement, what is the first statement? Tell me. Take this O2. Okay? Take this O2 here. So we have 1 mole of O2. It is giving me 2 moles of H2O. First statement will be 1 mole of O2 forms how many moles of water? Tell me, guys, how many moles of water? 2 moles of water. Then 1 mole के पास है हमारे पास. Then how many oxygen? How much oxygen do we have? We have 0.25. You will tell me 0.25 mole of O2 forms how many moles of water? 2 into 0.25. Yes or no, guys? Please tell me. Yes or no? Please tell me, Jan. No. Yes. जवाब आपने जल्दी दिया, ठीक है, लिखने में मत लगे रहिए अभी प्लीज आप लोग. This will be equal to 0.5 moles of H2O. ठीक है, see? I hope it is straightforward now. Now what you will do, you will convert this to mass because we have been given everything in mass. Okay, so you'll write mass of 0.5 mole of H2O will be equal to 0.5 into 18 grams. This will be equal to how much? 9 grams. Copy it down. आयशा, इरम, फहद को तो आता है, फहद ने किया है पहले. Abdullah, tell me, guys, understood this? Yes or no, please? Yes or no?
Yes.
Aisha, Iram, right? Fatima, what about you? Understood?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Do the initial problems slowly, understand it, then speed will automatically come. Okay. And now see, I will be giving some assignment today. I need that assignment on Thursday. Okay, when I say I need that assignment on Thursday, that means you have today, जो भी जितना भी time है आज आपके पास, then you have tomorrow, that is Wednesday, right? Now on Wednesday you will do the problems. If you can't do them, you will send it to me. You will send it to me, sir. See, sir, I have done this. I don't understand how to move forward. Okay. Or if you start with just don't please give me just the question, sir. ये नहीं आया मुझे. Okay. Don't give me that. To show your work, what you have done. Now, if you don't know where to start in the question, then you just ask me, sir, where to start in this question. Then I will tell you where to start. Then you will do it again. If you get stuck, then again you will ask. But you have to show me what you have done so that I understand what level of understanding you're having and where's the problem. Okay. I will give some assignment on stoichiometric calculation. You have to give it to me on Thursday. Okay. On Thursday, matlab before the class, not after the class, before the class on Thursday. Write this whole thing. Let me know when you're done by raising the hand. And we will be done for today's class. Okay. Stoichiometric calculation we have done. We will deal with a bit more complex